So welcome back to Learning Partner. In this video, we are going to discuss like what is control flow statement in Angular 17. So we all know like in Angular 17, so many new things are there, but that doesn't mean like old things are not working. Whatever you know from the previous version, it will work the same, but some new things are there with Angular 17. So this video will be dedicated for control flow statements only. Again, some videos will be there discussing like what new things are there, how you can improve your Angular 17 performance, right? As if we see the current market situation, as the jobs are low, you are getting few calls. So be ready with new things also, so that you won't be you won't be out of the race. At least in every interview, they are trying to see like, are you updated or not? Though their project is not in Angular 17, but they will ask you Angular 17 questions, so that they will judge you like you are active, you are checking like what new and what not, right? So that's why be aware like what things are there in Angular 17. So first I will tell you like how we use Angular 17. So we have this for to write switch case, we used to use ng switch, right? Now, just like that, in now Angular 17, we have so many things new. That is at the rate if block, at the rate else block, at the rate else if, just like that, at the rate for loop, at the rate empty, track by. So many new things are there. So first I will tell you like how we used to do the same thing. So if you see the UI, so we have a div here. On this click of show button, I need to show this, and on click of hide, I need to hide this. If we don't know the control flow statement, what we would have done, like in Angular 17, if we have to use ng for an ng if, right? So we have to use common module. So let me just write that. What I will do is I will create a variable first. Okay, this is just a basic preparation I have done. Let's say is div1 visible. I will make it Boolean and I will provide value false. Right? So what I have done, I have created a simply variable. Now what I need to do, this div1 should be hidden. So we have to use star ng if. If and equal to, we can pass the variable name. Correct? But let me just save it. We should have got that error, but it is not getting that error. Why is it? Let me just compile. Let me just compile it again, because you cannot use ng if without importing common module. So let me just compile it again. Let it compile. Still it is unable. Oh, strange. Let me just check. I'm not sure why it is not breaking. Normally with Angular 17, it will break. If I show you my packet.json, it is with Angular 17. So I think this was created just when the Angular 17 was released. But I think with newer version, it will break, right? So with newer version, if you try to use ng if or ng for in your HTML template, and if you don't import the common module over here, right now it's just giving the warning C. And if I add common module, so now that error or the warning will go away, right? So this list is not there, so that's why it is giving error. So now it is compiled fine. So with newer version, you will get the error actually. If you don't import the common module, now you won't be able to use ngIf and ngFor, because those directive comes from this module. So Angular 17 is rule is like whatever you use, you need to import that. Correct? Now let's remove this. Now alternative way to do all this instead of using ngIf and ngFor, what new things are there? So let's say we have this div, and I need to show this div if this variable is true. So we have created this variable. So we can use at the rate if block. So at the rate if, And here we have to pass the condition, whatever condition it is there. This is the variable I'm going to use. And inside this, you can wrap your HTML code, whatever you want to make it dynamic. So let's just save and check. Sorry. Let's save now. So currently you can see we are not able to see that div. That's because the variable value is false. So let's just check it to true. So now it is visible. Now the same variable change we will do on this button click. So this, let me just minimize. So now at the button, in the next row, we have two buttons, show and the hide. So now on click of it, I will just change the variable value. So either we can create a function also, or it's just a variable change. So we can do it from HTML side only, is equal to on click of show, we just need to make this variable true. And on click of hide, we just need to make this variable value false so that it will be hidden or completely removed. It's not actually hidden. So see now, currently it is visible. If I click on hide, see, correct? So now this is we have done hide and show or removing element from the HTML element by using @if block. Got it? So now you don't need to import the common module over here. So you are not burdening your component.ts code, right? So without using ng model also, you can just do the hide and show by using @if block. This is the first, what do I say? Control flow statement. Now let's take another scenario. Now, if you see the second box, we have a toggle button. Here we have done the show and hide thing on two button click. But now same thing we have to do on a one button click. If I click on toggle, div is visible, it will hidden. Again, if I click, if it is hidden, it will be visible. So let's create a variable again. Is div to visible colon boolean. By default, I'm providing the value false. Again, this variable we can use. This is the div to. So @if round bracket, curly bracket, and this will be condition. And this div to we will wrap it over here. Now we just have a single button on toggle. So let's write a click event. Now here what we need to do on click of it, if this variable has value true, we just need to make it false. And if it is false, we just need to make it a true. So just vice versa. So we can use not sign and that's it. So now you will see on the single button that hide and show will be there. .ts is not saved. Let's see. So currently it is not visible. If I click, no, something is wrong. What we do? Is due to visible and same. Sorry, we didn't assign is equal to not of this. Yeah. Okay. So if I click, you can see on a single button toggle thing, whatever we were doing over here on the two buttons, that same thing we are doing it over here. Now, same things. Div should again one more scenario on checkbox change. I need to make this div hide and show. So let's create a variable and we will bind that variable to that checkbox. Is div to active. Again, it will be Boolean. By default, I'm making it false. Now this variable, I have to bind it to this checkbox. So we can bind that using ng model directives, ng model equal to like this. Now, since this is my just the 17.1 version, but if you use ng model and if you don't import forms model over here, you will get the error. Okay. So now this condition is due to variable only we will use, or let's just copy this. Let me just comment it. Now, second thing. So here what we have done, we have just passed the variable. Now, if I need to compare, @if will need true or false also. Doesn't matter if it gets that value from a variable or a comparison for any from any function also. It just need true and false value. If this condition get true, this div will be rendered. Otherwise, it won't be rendered. Now, so div to active, we will use it equal to true. So let's check it now. So if we check it, see, it is visible. If I uncheck it, it is not visible. Now, one more scenario. So you can see we have two text box variables. So if it is 123 and 123, if both the text box is having same value, we just have to display it over here like both text box value, both the input field has same value, otherwise different. So text will be different, right? So we have two text box values. So obviously we need to create two variable because we are going to bind that. So num1 colon string, by default empty I'm assigning, num2 colon string, by default empty I'm assigning, and these two variable I will bind to my text box using ng model directive. So let me just copy. This is first, this is second. Here num1 will go, and here num2 will go. Right now, this is div3 we are talking about. So here, instead of div3, let's create two span. Both numbers are same, and again one more span. Both numbers are different. Right now, here we have to use if and else block also. So at the rate if, now condition will be, so if num1 equal to num2. If both the variable value has same value, so we will display this span. Else if else, and if it is not same, we will display the else block. So see, wherever in normal ng, if we used to in structural directive, we used to use star. So that star got replaced with at the rate if, at the rate else, right? Now, so let's just try to test it. So if currently you can see both the text box are empty, that's why we are able to see both number of same. Let's say if I enter one over here, so now you can see different is coming now, because over here we have one value and over here we don't have. So if I press one over here, so again same is getting printed. So this is how we use ng if and else, right? So condition can be anything. Just for an example, I have shown you, I'm comparing two variables. Now we have in older version we used to use ng switch. A replacement of that also is there, that is at the rate switch, right? So the last scenario is you can see here I'm printing some Monday, Tuesday, the day name, right? So what I'm trying to do is like, let's say user entered 0, so 0 we will denote as Sunday. If enter 1, only Monday will be printed. If I say 2, only Tuesday will be printed. So based on the index number user entered, we just have to print the name of the particular day. So let's write code for that. So this is our, no, we just need to create one more variable to bind to that uh, day index. Let's say number. Let's initialize, or let's don't initialize, so we'll give the error. So let's initialize with 0. So by default 0 will be there, and this variable we will bind it to our text box for inputting that round bracket ng model. Right now, this variable we have to use it over here to show the particular day matching with that particular day index. So we have to use at the rate switch condition. Now condition will be nothing but my this variable, correct? Curly bracket. So like there also we used to write case like that. So same you can do it over here. So if case is 0, we will display Sunday. So this span will go inside that. Just like that. Let me just write it, copy paste it. 1 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, one more. Oh, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the last one, Saturday. right? Now we just need to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's just test. So currently by default text box value is 0. So you can see Sunday is visible. Let's say if I press 1, no, still something is wrong. Let's check what is wrong. Day index, what we are getting. So what's wrong is like when we create any variable, doesn't matter what data type you give, but if you assign it to the text box, by default, it will get the string value in the single quote. So that's why these test cases were not executing. So let's make it string, wrap it in a single quote. Now here all the values, we just have to wrap it inside the single quote because text box value by default, it will give the string value. Let's just test now. It should work fine. Let's test now. So by default, Sunday is there. If I press 1, see, now it is working properly. Correct. But now if I press 9 something, it is not displaying anything. So now whatever possible combinations are there, if user entered apart from that, then we can use the default case. Just like in the switch case, we know the default case, right? So just like that, we can use that. So here at the end, we can write default. Sorry, default doesn't need the condition. So here we will just display wrong entry. Save and check. So if we pass anything apart from that number, you can see wrong entry is coming. But if we pass proper condition, it is displayed. So this is how we use switch case also. Now alternatives to switch case, like just like this, at the rate lsip is also there. Lsip, let's say number is equal to number 1. Other scenario I'm checking equal to empty, or num2 equal to empty, and at the rate else we will, the final block, we will use something else. So here we will check like if not equal to 0. What we can do, I just wanted to explain like same ng if else we can do right like this also, at the rate else if condition multiple else if, and replacement of this we can go for the switch case also. Correct. So this is how we use ngif and the replacement of ngif with if statement control block. Correct. Now, so just like if and else, we have for loop also. So let's move back to at the bottom. So here you can see I have created one table, two tables, and one ULLI. So in .ts, what I have done, I have created a variable, an array of player list and a student list, which is empty, and a city list. So this first thing we will bind to our table. So this is my first table. After t head, I will need t body, and here I will need tr. Here I will need td. Right. So what number of th we have, those number of td we can get it over here. Correct. So if in the older version we used to iterate the element by using ng for. So that was like this: ng for equal to let item of your array variable name, whatever array variable name you have, that is will be player list. This is what you used to do in the previous version. Now, if you have to use the ng-for, you have to import common module into your import section in your component, correct? But rather than importing that, you can do the same thing by using @for loop like this. And here we will say let, what is it, player of, and our variable name, that is this player list. This is our normal for loop, and we have to wrap this inside that, right? Let's try to print the index also we need now. I will explain the index, but just first we will see how do we do that. So I'm just getting one more variable index is equal to, and here I will be storing dollar index. Just like that, there also we used to get the index property, just that it is now replaced with dollar index. And now this index, I will print it over here. So index now, index by default start with 0. So I'm just making it +1. Now here we have to use player dot whatever thing we have created. Let's say start with player name. ID normally we don't show. So I'm avoiding that. Player name, city, gender, and the last statement is, I think, is active. Let's try to print that. Just save. At the for loop, something is not correct. Sorry, we don't need let. I forgot that. Directly we can access player of and the variable name. For loop must have track. Okay, track is also important. Now in previous version in ngFor we know track by, right? We used to get that track by. Now same thing there, it was optional, but now in at the rate for loop they have made that mandatory. So track by is like what is the unique property in your array that the for loop should match for changes, right? So in my player list ID is something unique. So here we have to say track, and we will be matching. We have to compare with player dot what is it, player ID. So this is my unique property which you have to manage. So now you can see we have got it, right? So this is how we use the for loop. So track is mandatory. Whatever, either if you don't have anything unique now, you can directly provide the index also. Doesn't matter. But if you have something unique, you can get, you can pass that particular property over here, right? So this is a normal for loop. Let's try to copy the same thing. Now, like in ngFor also, we used to get even, odd, first, last. So just like that, here also we have. So let first, and here we will store first like this, right? So whatever the things over there in ngFor even, odd, first, last, those are present over here also. We just print this hyphen. So only first record will print true, otherwise remaining will print false. So here you can see it is printing true because this is the first one, remaining it is false. So even, or just like that, you can keep on creating variable and you can use this. Now we just copy this and paste it over here. Now previously, if your table doesn't have any data, we used to write we used to check this length, like player list dot length is not equal to 0. So now in new control flow statement, we have got @empty. Now @empty is something as a else blocks. After this empty, okay, and here I will create a tr. Here I will create a ready with false span. So false span is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, and here I will say a paragraph, no record found. Okay, now array I will be passing a student list. This is the empty, right? So here I'm passing this. So let's save and check. Now, if student list is empty, it won't execute this for loop. It will execute this empty block, and this will be printed. So let's check. So now you can see no record found is coming. So earlier we used to do that with ng container, and by checking the length of this array, we used to do that. But now we have got @empty. Correct. So this is how we do everything by using control flow statement. This is the word is just a jargon, but it is just basically @if and the @for loop and the switch. Now inside for loop also, let's say this gender. So in gender, we have got value M5. So instead of this, I just need to print it whole thing. So here inside this also we can use at the rate if condition. Now the condition will be if player dot gender equal to M. I want to print span, and here I will say male, and at the retails we can use, and here we will print female. We just don't need to print this. So now if the value is male, you will get male, otherwise it is female. Got it? So just like that for true and false also you can use, you can show the icon or something, whatever. So inside for loop also we can use the at the rate if else switch by anything, right? So these are the all scenarios which we have taken. Again, ULLI, I have created a city list, and this we can print it over here by iterating on the ULLI. So we have to write at that for loop, and ULI should be inside that for same like that. Correct? So this is how we have the new thing which is there in Angular 17. I hope you have liked my video. Please do like and subscribe. So that's it. I will be coming back with some more videos and with new things, whatever we have got in Angular 17. Till then, keep watching.